station. Be the call, the escalation. This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
Standing room only here in the studio tonight.
Stop
I'm
it.
saying sit down. Thank you very much. Hey, thank you for tuning in to Thoughts Count Anywhere. It is Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. East Coast time. And if you're in Hawaii, it's probably still
a.m.
What did I say? A.m.?
Yes.
P.m. If you're in Hawaii, it's probably still breakfast. I think that's how many hours they're behind us, right? Something like that. Australia's like yesterday right now, right?
Yeah,
Something like
so
that.
They know the results of the show already.
That's we've already been there. Anyway, thank you for watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. I'm Aaron. That's Scott. That's Matt. We got Bellboy back here. Jason is in the steel cage. How's everybody doing this week? Jason, how are you this week, sir?
Just peachy.
All right, we got Peaches over there. Mr. Matt, how are you?
Toasty.
Toasty. Turn that mic up in front of you there, sir. Get that mic right up in there. There you go.
Get it all up in my grill.
There you go. In my grill. Scott the Road Warrior today. They're going to call you the Road Warrior. How are you?
I'm not animal, that's for sure. Nor am I
Your
hog.
favorite.
Your favorite, yes.
My fave.
Hey, we want to thank everybody for jumping into the chat room nice and early. We got a good show, a lot going on in the world of wrestling, a lot of events this weekend going on down at the Boulevard Mall between Power Play Sports Collectibles and Versus. We'll talk about that. We got a lot going on, but as always, we want you to call us, 702-329-6947. If you're outside the United States, 855-502-4321. Major Tom. Send us a live tweet. We got some tweets already coming in using hashtag Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll answer your question. We'll acknowledge your comment. And of course, as always, chat rooms are all being monitored. We all start a watch party. So if you are watching right now, we would appreciate you starting your own watch party to share the wealth and knowledge of what with which we try to portray. Not successfully sometimes, but we have fun if nothing else. Right?
A couple of people in the chat room. This is going to surprise you. Chief's in there.
Oh,
Thomas.
hey, Chief.
I got my cousin Todd back in Michigan.
Hi, cousin
Yeah,
Todd.
we got Chris Chandler from Chadman Designs.
Chris.
And Frank and Ashley.
Right on. And I've got Thomas Frankel. I got Dennis. I got Nora, Denise, Dawn, Peter. I got a full chat room already. Thank you all for joining us. Guys,
This
you
the
have
Brady's?
any? That's right. This is the Brady's. That's correct. Do you have anybody there that you want to give a shout out to, Mr. Jason?
Just got my dad in there.
All right.
Say, hey, Dad.
There you go, Papa Piper.
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't want to say that too many times. Anyway, Matt, you got anybody over there you want to recognize?
I'll start mine in a second. I'm trying to get the live stream on the website. Real
Oh,
quick.
there you go. Yes, don't forget, go to thoughtskountanywhere.com. We're now adding a live stream to our show through the website, and merchandise for TCA will be available on the GoLive.Vegas website store very, very soon. We've seen some samples today. We just want to approve some ideas and get it out there. A lot going on in the world of TCA. Thoughts Count Anywhere.
You're bending your picture.
Oh, I know. So those who
Don't piss him off.
No, I know. Those who remember last week, we had Tiny on the show last week. There you go. Zeus from the world of WWE. Can I get my tight shot there? There you go. There you go, right there. And his signature says...
Are you Arrow?
I know. No, that's what I think that's what he did. He spelled Arron or Arrow. But then his message I like, don't piss me off. So I think that's pretty good. Anyway, all right. There you go. All right, I wouldn't want Zeus come knocking down my door. All right, buddies, here we get started with I Hear Voices. Jason, why don't you get us started with the first item up for bids?
WWE is considering putting the title on Orton at SummerSlam. Is they want to put bigger matches on TV to help with ratings.
Is that as much of a slight on Drew as it is a potential idea for ratings?
Honestly, I don't think I don't want to see Orton have the title. I like the fact that Drew's got it. I think he's doing a good job with it. They need to give someone an opportunity besides the usuals. But again, Scott's favorite saying, merchandise sells, so.
That's a good point.
Very true.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you think they want to put the title on Orton after what he did to Flair this past week? Do we see a story there to try to get Orton up to passing Rick's record of 16 titles?
That was highlighted in the little speech.
Was
so
it?
I think, mentioning
Okay.
that he'd like to see, Randy, the best wrestler, today, break his title. And I think that's the key. I think he's going to get the belt.
Okay.
And,
At
run with
SummerSlam.
it. Yeah.
23rd, right? That's the date? Matt, let me ask you this question about that. I heard today some conversation that now that Rick's gone, maybe they'll start with Andrade to the future father-in-law to be protected. Then they'll go through one more and then possibly in time for Charlotte to come back in time to address Randy Orton for WrestleMania?
I could see that. I don't know if they're going to start doing like intergender wrestling or anything, but with like the kind of dig he got at Reed Flair saying like you're the son I never had.
Right.
You can kind of see like Rick breaking right then and there.
Okay.
And I can see like it turning. I hope it don't turn into like the McMahons versus like Randy Orton like they already did.
Right.
But
Right. I just, you know what, you mentioned the intergender things. Look, God bless Tessa Blanchard and Impact for pulling that whole storyline off. I'm not interested in seeing Charlotte and Randy Orton go at it at WrestleMania. To me, I understand the storyline. I get all of that. But to me, I'm not into that.
Got a question.
Yeah.
I know when I was watching it, my video blanked out when they came to the stomp.
Yep, they did. Yep, it went dark for that split second.
Okay, so
as
it
part
wasn't
of-
just.
Nope.
So my thought process, knowing Rick being the dirtiest player in the game
Mm-hmm.
and playing on Drew's emotions,
Mm-hmm.
does
Drew or Randy?
Drew's emotions,
Oh, okay.
to come out to save Rick.
Oh, okay.
Did
Okay.
anybody really see the stomp?
Oh, no. I mean, you talk about perfect timing. His foot was coiled back, and just as he was starting to get it forward, the lights went out. So no, you didn't see it, but you saw the result of Flair laying out on the mat.
you heard it.
Yeah, I didn't. Again, I was watching on playback, so I didn't.
No, it blanked out.
Okay.
Did anybody actually see it happen?
No.
No.
So
all you heard was the sound. You didn't see it at all.
Which in wrestling you hear a slap
Right.
or a punch or something. Oh, I'm sorry.
So-
Maybe I'm missing something. But realistically, I'm thinking maybe
Little swerve there.
Little
coming?
swerve. He
Ooh.
comes out to help McIntyre, and then
My
nails
buddy
him.
Steve Nagel, who's watching us back in New Jersey, Edison area, puts a message in there. He misses ECW. Anybody else miss ECW? I just thought I would ask.
the old ECW.
The original, right?
Yeah, the original.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Down in Philly, right? What was the name of the hall they were in Philadelphia? I don't remember, but
Too many years ago.
It's funny.
Wasn't it the
ECW
same hall that Raw was in too?
I think so. I
Yeah,
think
they-
so, right?
They did that.
It's ironic that an
That
organization.
was 1, 2, 3 Kid versus Razor Ramon.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Here you got an organization as violent as it was in ECW in the city of brotherly love. Next topic.
Let's let Matt handle this one.
All right, Matt, why don't you take the second bullet there, sir?
All right. Rumored names being for the retribution group that's coming in. People are saying that Vanessa Bourne, Dominic Dijakovic, Tommaso Ciampa, and Chelsea Green are some of the rumored names to be under the masks. I could see
Why?
a couple of them.
I mean,
The Vanessa Bourne one, I think, is almost like a guaranteed
'Cause
because
the
like
hair.
her hair popped out, and she's like the only one with.
I do think that maybe obviously that one, but those 4 names, they're not going to. Once you unmask them, what are they? What value is it? And also with today's social climate, I don't think it's a good thing to be doing.
I totally agree. Now, I read online that like the stable idea is something that WWE might be looking to go back to from that era, the Attitude Era, as a way for draw. I don't like the Retribution storyline of what they're doing with all the Havoc beating up the girls and the chainsaws and all that.
And the stuff happening in cities like Portland, Chicago right now, it plays on that, and I don't think it's a good thing.
Especially last night, because Portland, they went into some of the residential neighborhoods last night for what I saw. So,
and I hope people smarten up and realize you're terrorizing your own city where you live, and the innocent is definitely paying the price.
Johnny in the neighborhood? What?
Never.
Usually that's me that says shit like that.
You have impacted, dare I say, you've impacted me tonight with that. I know, sorry. I know, I digress. Anyway, hey, give us a call who you think might be part of Retribution. 702-329-6947. Send us a live tweet with your thoughts using hashtag ThoughtsCountAnywhere. Or put it in the chat room. But we'd love to really talk with you. 702-329-6947. Or any thoughts and comments on anything going on in the world of pro wrestling. Next topic. Was that the punt from last night that we just
That's exactly what you heard.
Rumors going around about Alexa Bliss and the Fiend storyline. Rumors she might be aligned with the Fiend and cost Strowman the belt at SummerSlam could be an interesting way to rejuvenate Bliss's career.
Are you okay there, Eric?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm trying to recover.
He's not
from
being
that
very
bad-
professional tonight, people.
No, I'm not.
Shocker.
Yes.
Shocker.
I hope it is like some kind of way to like rejuvenate Bliss, as he's been with like the Nikki Cross tag team for a while, and it's kind of been stagnant. And she's like a super talented like person in WWE. I'd like to see her do something like creative, test her boundaries a little bit instead of staying doing like the same little things she does. She's good at everything pretty much, but
I thought she did a good job as Sister Abigail.
I was going
in
to
that
say,
little
she's
segment,
Sister Abigail.
right?
You know, the Strowman and Bliss during the intergender matches that they had a few years back.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
mixed match challenge thing.
And she's a better heel than she is a face.
oh yeah, definitely.
So it would fit perfectly for her to come out as the Fiend's true sister Abigail.
Now, Jason, though, Braun Strowman came out a couple of weeks ago downplaying the fact that he doesn't care about Alexa, because that's what Bray Wyatt used as part of the storyline. I don't care about Alexa. She means nothing. Bray, you're the one that I want. Do you think that could be the reason she comes down and costs Braun the title, perhaps?
It could go that way just because of the fact that the way it's being played, and it was so interesting how the minute Alexa did that gentle touch on Bray's face, it kind of threw him off like, whoa, what's going on here? So it's one of those things where if you do that where Bray's got the title and then you give the SmackDown title to Alexa, Sister Abigail and The Fiend have the belts, that'd be kind of cool to see.
Hell yeah.
Chief puts in there, I don't know if you saw it, he
Yeah.
puts a message in. How about the Flairs versus the Ortons? But who would be the second Orton? Going to bring Bob out? Rick and Charlotte?
His arm hasn't healed yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Still got that cast on.
That's very true. Who else is there? Thomas Burnett thinks that Xavier Woods is in it, in the Retribution. You think they would put Woods in there with Big E doing his singles run and now Kofi on the shelf for a number of weeks? Could he be in Retribution? I don't know.
Possible.
What would he want to have Retribution for?
They could, but I don't think they would unmask him. They might just use him as a
Yeah.
body until
That
Big
just-
E's like singles run is over.
Putting Xavier Woods in that group right now, definitely political climate. No, stop.
There you
please.
go.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Can't just break up the New Day like randomly. There has to be like a big thing.
They have to break themselves up. You can't
Yeah.
just break them up because of situation. They have to implode as a threesome beforehand. I agree with that. Let's see. Chief puts in there. ECW Arena was known as 2300 Arena, which I guess that must be the address where the arena was, perhaps, right? CM Punk, Chris Chandler says CM Punk will be the leader of the stable. Now that makes the most sense in a way, having CM Punk somehow involved in this Retribution storyline, exacting revenge, which is the true definition of retribution. He certainly has a lot that he could throw back at WCW and Vince.
Too many
Thoughts?
years.
You think so?
A lot of wrestling fans, I mean, the diehards that
Sure.
are our listeners and things like that, and us, we know the history, but I think the new wrestling fans, like for instance, my nephew ZJ, he knows who CM Punk is, but he has no idea of the, coming out and going
The pipe bomb.
rogue. Yeah, the pipe bomb type.
And then stealing the belt and putting it in his fridge. And
Yeah, I mean, so.
But
for
isn't that
for
what-
the kids that buy the merchandise?
Right.
It's way past his time.
But given how bad ratings are, is that not exactly what the Raw or SmackDown ratings need? It's a guy like Punk to come out and be involved in some storyline, because he obviously hasn't done diddly poo in the studio show that he's being bashed for, because he hasn't shown up regularly. They don't use
Or in
it
a
regularly.
UFC ring.
Or in a UFC ring going and forever. This having him involved, because there is enough of us who remember Punk performing, that there's going to be enough people out there that are going to die if that he's part of it, because they need the ratings.
Yeah, the ratings are in the tank, and they really need to go on hiatus or try something different, because the matches aren't coming off very well with just people smacking the plexiglass. They really need to go to maybe a studio type show and wait until this COVID thing's over. Stop trying to cram stuff down our throats.
Reboot.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, if it goes to a studio show, I can just hear the laugh track now going across the show.
Wouldn't it be cool to have something like Piper's Pit again?
That would be wonderful.
That'd be
great.
awesome.
Punk's Pit.
Well, you can't have Pipers.
No, exactly. Unless Ronda Rousey comes back to host it. Rowdy Pit. Rowdy Ronda Pit. Rowdy whatever.
You're trying real hard. Yeah,
I am.
Continue on, please.
Yes, well, let's go to, how about we go to our first break, as it is quarter after the hour, and then when we come back, we'll pick up a WWE report, and then we can come back with our little salute to a legend that passed away the other day here from the world of professional wrestling. You are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. I'm Aaron with Scott, Matt, Jason, Aaron on the board, and you are fans. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Old world recipes, old world style, old world taste. Burnt Offerings at 3909 West Sahara Avenue is where the old world meets Las Vegas for a dining experience like no other. Burnt Offerings, where foodies dine.
Looking to advertise your small business at a low cost? Do you need your commercial designed or actually produced for you? Advertise on two of the hottest shows on the internet, Power Play Sports Collectibles and Thoughts Count Anywhere. Both shows with getting over 40,000 views per week for only one low cost. For more information, please email info@thoughtscountanywhere.com.
All right. Welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. We want to acknowledge a passing of a WWE legend, James Harris, best known in the ring as Kamala, the Ugandan giant, and to make light of it, not to be confused with an announcement that was made politically yesterday. Kamala wrestled some of the greats in the WWE, had great feuds with Hulk Hogan.
Don't forget his Mid-South days.
Oh, my God. Jerry Lawler, I heard him tell the story as to
Yes.
how he got him started.
Yeah, and James was a hell of a human being, very respected in the industry. He would give you the shirt off his back. He was not, in real life, he was not his character. And I wish him well, his family well, rest in peace. And definitely, I really think WWE missed the boat with him. And I think, Mid-South and, the territories fit him a lot better.
For those who don't know the story, I heard him tell it on Busted Open yesterday. Jerry Lawler took James Harris on a night that he just walked in. He met with Jerry one night, right? He came back the next night. They somehow got on the topic of Africa, and they went to the map and found Uganda. And then they did the war paint thing, and Jerry painted him for 6 months before he finally got it down to paint his own. I mean, he was a guy, and unfortunately, he had really, really bad health. He had a bad case of diabetes, where I know he had at least one leg amputated. They had both. But let's give Chris Jericho a pat on the back.
Well, let me start with that.
Go right ahead.
Okay, first of all, I used to belong to an organization that should have stepped up right away.
Oh, boy.
Because that's what they do.
Get the fire hose ready.
They're a 501c. Obviously, those of us in the industry found out within minutes that James had passed. A couple years back, he was honored by the CAC, and a donation was made to assist with medical and housing at that time. And unfortunately, because of situations, the family has no money to really actually bury him or respectfully do whatever they want to do with the remains and his body. And I give Chris Jericho all the respect in the world, not only in the wrestling industry because he takes care of the young talent, lets him perform and he'll job if necessary. He stepped up right away, immediately helped create a GoFund account, which
I don't think he created it.
No, but
somebody else did. But he got it over.
He got it over.
Right.
And God bless him for doing that. God blessing the family for going to GoFund, because there was an organization that should have stepped up, or I should just say a guy with initials BBB, and I'll leave it at that. And those who know me, I called it out. You should have stepped up right away.
In the name of the new day. Who?
Yeah. There shouldn't have been. That should have been the first phone call.
Absolutely.
Turns out there's a B next to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well said. All of our thoughts and prayers go out to James Harris and his family. Now, on the flip side of that, Jason, tell us whose birthday it was yesterday.
The immortal Hulk Hogan celebrated his birthday yesterday.
The immortal one. Well, he's over 60 now, isn't he?
67.
67?
Good Lord.
Yeah.
He took his vitamins.
He certainly
Said
did.
his prayers.
Drank his milk. No, that was Kurt Angle. 67. God, it just seemed like yesterday he was Thunder Lips in the Rocky movie. I mean,
He don't look like that no more.
no, not.
Age is not good to him.
No, neither was gravity. But
You know what? I want to step back for a second,
Okay.
and I apologize.
No,
We're talking
yeah.
about guys,
Rewind.
you mentioned Jerry Lawler,
I did.
painting him and things like that. And I mentioned how good Jericho is with the younger talent.
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
People forget Mid-South was Jerry Lawler. And
Right.
Yeah, and how much he did for the territories in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And God bless Jerry also. I mean, he's up there in age, had the heart attack on film.
God, on Raw.
And,
That was crazy.
great commentary. A lot of people only know him as a commentary
Right.
or a every now and then wrestler, but he was a hell of a wrestler,
Right.
and a hell of a human being when it came to creating characters.
yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, was it it'll be 4 years September when he had the heart attack on Raw, something like that?
I think a lot of the talent nowadays is forgetting how to give back to the talent.
Well, you can say that about many of the major pro sports
or just
teams.
life in general with the
Well,
U.S.
that-
right now. But,
right.
But a lot of the talent needs to, the older talent needs to give back to the younger talent. And the younger talent, and a gentleman that, Matt Stryker, I had him as an autograph
Yep, I know,
guest.
yep.
And he told me one time Nick Bockwinkel came in the locker room, and all the guys were just jit off to the side. And Nick was talking, and he says, I became a sponge.
Yeah.
And I listened. And you know what? I give Matt Stryker all the credit in the world, because here's some advice for some of the younger talent. When you have a legend or even somebody with more years experience, be a sponge.
Yep.
Learn.
And the same could be said really with many of the major sports organizations now,
Sure.
where today's players in any of the leagues don't know who, believe it or not, who in baseball, so I've heard some people say they don't even know who Jackie Robinson was. Okay? Does any of these free agents who are making $400 million an hour, basically, know who Ron Bloomberg is?
Oh,
Anybody?
yes.
I know you would.
Yeah.
Anybody? First free agent in Major League Baseball, signed with the New York Yankees. Okay? And Kurt Flood
Yes.
was another name involved in that. So the history
St.
of our
Louis Cardinal, yeah.
Yeah, and in the history of our sports, we're losing touch with the history because the up and comers now don't, like Scott said, don't take advantage of that knowledge and experience when they have somebody around them that can teach them that they should be listening to.
On our other show, and I'll just segue, and I apologize to all the fans out there. When we were talking about that, when I was working for the Padre organization, you've heard this.
Yeah.
I was in charge of the visiting team, and I walked down in the dugout, and there was Sandy Koufax sitting by himself, just sitting there in the dugout. And I recognized him immediately, being a longtime Dodger fan. And he looked at me and says, "You want to take a few swings? I need to get my arm." Yes.
Yeah, don't finish
And
the
I
sentence. I'm right there.
and he was actually here. I think he was helping Danny Opperman, who was a young up-and-coming Dodger prospect, another left-hander. How, and I sat in the bullpen, and I just listened. And it's like, I don't care if I'm never going to be a baseball player. Just the knowledge that I became a sponge, like Matt Stryker said. And you should listen to some of the talent. And, Chief mentioned some other good names. And obviously some people dislike Bill Watts for what he did, but Jackie Fargo, Lance Russell. People forget about the commentary team. And now look at, somebody here that, does a lot of commentary. And I know you do it. How many times have you listened to, Gene Okerlund or Gordon Soley or Lance Russell, any of those people just
JR and Lawler
how about Bobby Heenan?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, people forget his wrestling days. He was a hell of a wrestler.
Right.
Listen to those people, please, because they are your history, and you can learn something from them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. Okay. Chief put in there, and I'd like you to respond to this, Jason. Could Rey Mysterio come back as the leader of Retribution and feud with Seth Rollins? That's an interesting take, courtesy of Chief.
Now I'll go into the segue after what happened to Dominic on Raw. And I don't care about fakeness or anything like that when it comes to WWE, but that was truly uncalled for with what Dominic went through. Those welts on him is just...
That was brutal.
That was the most brutal beating I've ever seen a man take in a ring with a kendo stick.
It was like he got hazed on live television.
Terrible. I think, given today's environment, like we were talking about,
True.
Way too much. Way over the top, in my opinion.
It was starting to get like uncomfortable at one point. I was like, dude, this is getting like a little much. Who's coming out to save him?
Right.
And like the fact that nobody moved to try and jump in. I mean,
obviously he gave the okay to have it done, but that's where somebody of a talent in the back, like an Adam Pearce, or in the old days you had, had Arn Anderson and stuff. They would have said, "Okay, guys, enough." From the gorilla position.
It's just Dominic. Yeah, he gave the okay, like you said.
Yeah.
But to go that far, and it kind of put a bad thing on Seth because it's like, okay, Seth, you got a kid coming, bro. Like now. What are people going to think about you?
Right. Way too much.
He's got a kid coming. He's still playing a character, so...
Yeah.
True. But Dominic is what, 20 years old, 21, or whatever it is?
23.
23. Still, there's a time when you say enough's enough, and in my opinion, I agree. I think he went over the line in terms of presentation. Double kendo sticks and all of the welts, and I can't even look at the pictures that they put up on Twitter afterwards. It was just way too much.
That was
Matt,
gnarly.
here's the thing. David Flair. Look at how he got hazed in the ring. He didn't get hazed that bad in WCW like Dominic did.
Right.
That was like his initiation or something.
Did you ever play high school football?
I did. Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
Once?
Did you ever go through hazing?
Yes, I went through hazing in high school. I got shoved in a locker.
Oh, that's nothing.
Oh, you didn't get...
and then thrown into a trash can.
You didn't get taped to the goalpost?
Yes,
How about Ben Gay and the jockstrap?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's hazing.
Yeah.
My clothes were taken and put in the shower.
There you go. Chief,
Different show.
Chief even mentions a little tribute. When you get in the ring, you're supposed to wipe your feet on the apron.
I know some young
some of the
lady
guys don't do that.
does that. She's 3G. Yeah, Tessa.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
even when I do announcing, I do it.
Yeah,
When I get in the ring, I
absolutely.
do the honor. Okay, anyway, let's get off of that. Next topic. Speaking of Dominic, we can actually skip that, but he did sign his contract to meet Rollins, correct, Matt?
Yeah, he signed his WWE contract and his contract to face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. And then he got hazed real hard.
Richie from Minnesota, our buddy up there in Minnie, he absolutely believes Mean Gene and Bobby Heenan were the absolute best. Can't disagree.
Nope.
Can't disagree. And like you said, I never saw Heenan wrestle. My memories of him was as a manager and then going with Gorilla Monsoon and then, his time behind a microphone and being that character.
I had the privilege of seeing Bobby wrestle, AWA days when
Right.
it would be Bockwinkel and it would be Ray Stevens, and if Ray couldn't make the match, he would step in as Nick's partner. I got to see some great one-on-one matches. Buck Zumoff, he can do whatever he wants to do. But him and that was a long-time feud in AWA, the light heavyweight title.
Right.
But Heenan was a great wrestler. Absolutely great. And Nick would tell me stories about how he would step in. And so, yeah, definitely legends.
One last topic before we go to break. Raw Underground. Do you think the difference of having the dancing girls at the beginning of the Raw Underground segment would have made any difference for Shayna Baszler's performance?
Nope.
See how I tied those two things together there?
Her performance was miserable,
Okay.
in my opinion. A lot of missed spots. It just shows that,
She needs more training.
more training.
She go to the Nia Jax School of Wrestling? Anyway, Matt, your thoughts?
I still think the Raw Underground has a lot of potential. They're just trying to get their way of going, but
I'm waiting for Kevin to come out.
I'm waiting for like Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar in this thing.
And that's been talked about a lot, too, to see that. I still, you know what, I'm not buying it because I think Shane is horrendous on there, personally, the way he's introducing and telling people stop, go. I just don't buy what the value of that segment is versus the violence, i.e. Dominic, that we're seeing in the squared circle itself.
It's because they don't have enough storylines for the real squared circle.
Well,
If Shane wasn't like the head of it, he's got like the face everybody wants to punch. And he's so loud and annoying that if anybody else was in charge of it, I don't think it'd be half bad. But having like Shane screaming through everything.
yeah, I just don't buy it. I'm not into it. It's not my best segment I'd like to see. All right, with that, we have arrived at the bottom of the hour. It is now time for bottom of the hour break. You are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. I'm Aaron with Scott and Matt and Jason, and you are valued family of listeners. We'll be back in 30 or 60 seconds, whatever our producer decides to do. We'll be back.
Old world recipes, old world style, old world taste. Burnt Offerings at 3909 West Sahara Avenue is where the old world meets Las Vegas for a dining experience like no other. Burnt Offerings, where foodies dine.
For all your sports collectibles in Las Vegas, stop by Power Play Sports Collectibles in the Boulevard Mall. Power Play has a large selection of items from all your favorite teams, specializing in the Vegas Golden Knights, Las Vegas Raiders, and pro wrestling. Power Play Sports Collectibles has an online store if you prefer the online shopping experience, plus they ship worldwide. So if you're looking for that sports collectible for yourself or that special someone, check out Power Play Sports Collectibles online at www.powerplaysportscards.com or at the Boulevard Mall.
Thank you.
Right, exactly. I love the studio audience. There'll be autographs after the show tonight. You are watching from whoever. I'm going to sign in invisible ink. Arrow. Right, that's my new name. Arrow Phillips. Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios here in Las Vegas. 702-329-6947. The phone numbers are on the screen there, right in front of us. Also, too, hey, send us a live tweet. We just want to make sure that the Twitter machine is working. Send us a live tweet using hashtag Thoughts Count Anywhere. I know it's working because I put stuff out there.
And call in and tell us it works.
Yeah, somebody. Call us and tell us the phone line even works at this point. 702-329-6947. Okay, before we get back to our WWE reports, Scott, we got some stuff going on at the Boulevard Mall this weekend.
Absolutely.
Did I stall long enough for you, Aaron, to get them up? Okay.
This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got our sports cards, toys, collectibles show. You'll find everything from the trading cards in the sports world. You'll find toys like Funko Pops. You'll find comics like Marvel and DC. So sports cards, toys, and collectibles show at the Boulevard Mall hours, which is 11 to 7, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Saturday, we will have one of the greatest personalities ever to be on TCA, that being Marty the Moth. He from Lucha Underground. He'll be signing autographs from 1 to 3. And then on Friday night, we will be having at Versus Pro Studios there. Marty's going to be doing a wrestling seminar, $20 each. Learn from one of the Lucha Underground champions.
I'm looking at his 4 pictures. They are as opposite of each other as they are, as really depicting who Marty is.
Marty's a character.
He is.
And love him to death. He's great. We've been chatting last couple days just about the weekend. But yeah, on Friday, they're going to do the seminar at Versus Pro Wrestling. Saturday, for all the kiddies and wrestling fans and even adults can come and get an autograph from Marty the Moth, Lucha Underground 1 to 3. And then all weekend, like I said, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, buy, sell, and trade with all the vendors at the Boulevard Mall.
Absolutely. Be a lot of fun. I'll be there at Versus. I'll be doing commentary and ring announcing.
My God.
I know.
I'll be there.
I'll be there. Yeah, Matt will be there. You going to be there? You're going to be there, right?
Friday, I am doing player orientation at Allegiant Stadium.
You said
Wow.
player orientation.
Yeah.
Are you going to be one of the Raiders?
No, it's called playbook orientation. Actually, it's called stadium playbook orientation.
Actually, I think you're
How
going
to
to be one
show
of the New
people
York
where not to
Giants.
sit. Wait a minute.
Spoiler alert, 0-16.
There's nobody going to be in the stadium. Who the hell are you orientating? Who are you orientating?
They're doing orientation for us to tell us how the stadium's going to be ran, sir.
With nobody in there.
I don't know. I have a
just
job.
works there.
I got a job, so
We'll get
shut
those.
up.
We'll get those cutout people, right? You wanted. We'll get back. We'll get back to that in a second.
Hey, my butt itches. What, sucko?
Chief Woods in the chat room. Cross and Thatcher need to go to the underground. And Thomas Burnett, God love this guy. He really thinks our voiceover guy is underrated. I agree. He should double his salary. Anyway, you wanted to make a point before we went to last break about the cutout people that we see at baseball. Go follow up with that point. I think it's interesting.
You could just tell during MLB and hockey, prime example, Aaron Judge, throwing balls up in the stands, and you can see the players throwing the balls, and they're just like, you can see like they're heartbroken that there's no fans to interact with. It's the same thing with that on the Golden Knights game. The puck went in the stands and just bounced off off the netting and went down, and you don't see anyone running for it. It just, that vibe is just not there, and it's heartbreaking.
Stop whining.
No.
It's weird without crowds, but if you pay me $40 million, I don't care if there's one person or 40,000 people in the crowd.
And you sound like every other person that's like that.
Yeah. That's
I'll
how much
take 40
money they
I'll
make.
play for $30 million.
I don't care.
I'll play for 30,000.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't play. I would play for fans because the fans are the reason why merchandise is sold. It's
And-
not that paycheck.
But you know what's interesting? Merchandise is still selling.
Yes.
That's the thing. But you're 100% correct, and we talked about this on a break. Giancarlo Stanton, about a week ago, hit about almost a 500-foot blast to left center field at Yankee Stadium. And as the camera followed it, it just hit and bounced around it, and it settled in the storm
Drainage,
drain,
yeah.
right? And I said to I think I even texted somebody or posted on Facebook, it's a shame that I miss the run for people to get a souvenir ball. So for the next 10 minutes, Tim Kirchin of ESPN was talking about how he wants to go over there and get it. You know, it'd be his only chance to get a home run ball. He came on the air saying that the people at ESPN and Major League Baseball asked him not to leave his post. They did not want anybody wandering around the stadium. No one's in there in the stands. Who's he going to run into to get the ball?
Our sound guy's getting a little
I did not hear what the message was.
Have you seen my baseball?
Anyway, all right. But great point, though. Yeah, you can say now the NBA, though, is still doing it right. I mean, they're playing it hard. I mean, I don't see any disappointment in their face. But then again, with baseball, you got guys standing around between pitches. They're looking, they're wandering. Anyway, go Knights, by the way. They won again last night.
Yeah, okay.
All right. All right. Next topic. Why don't you, Scott, speaking of killing things, why don't you
Yes.
talk about the Marty Jannetty article that came out last week? What did I
Scott,
say?
you have
Wait.
a whole bunch to add to that, don't you?
Well, Marty,
threw it to
Marty
the right
did a
guy,
show.
didn't I?
Marty did, tried to do an appearance at the store, except he was passed out in the car. And then we had to do a private signing with him later because he was still not in the...
Best interest.
Yeah.
He wasn't best for business at that moment.
There's Marty,
Marty,
certain people.
I don't know if Sean really connected on that kick and sent you to La La Land, but first of all, dude, get some help.
At 13, wasn't it, that he said that whatever incident he was talking about,
He needs some help, and God bless whoever. Will you please stop with that? Now you are irritating me.
he's going to throw a knife at you.
Yeah, and then I'll admit to it. No, I'm just going
The
to
death
put
certificate will say COVID, so you're good.
That's
it, son of Donald Trump.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
So, Marty, just get some help. I mean, that's all you can say.
Absolutely. Maybe he was thrown through that window a little too hard by Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels. I don't know. All right.
WWE's going to turn that into like the biggest face turn of all time now.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It paid off. All right. Real quickly, I want to quickly run through these last couple of things. MVP in an interview said Samoa Joe looks like he may be returning to the ring very soon.
Shocker.
Yeah, exactly. Pat McAfee says he'll do a better job than Tyson Fury against Adam Cole at
Not hard to
SummerSlam.
do. It
Right?
ain't going to be hard.
Exactly. Vince.
I'll punt on that.
Oh, boy. Vince recently said in creative meetings how much he loves Bailey's heel work One of the very few things he likes in the current production, as they say, he has been ripping up scripts for Raw and SmackDown, making his own storyline. I will say this. I think if you ask people, I think her heel turn right now is better than when she was a face. Yes?
She's better as a heel, but unlike either. So
Okay. Either way, she still looks good in her stuff. Anyway, Pat McAfee took the whole... Yeah, I think she looked... Yeah. I'll elaborate.
I'll give her credit.
Okay,
she
yeah.
does squats.
I'll elaborate off there. Anyway, Roman dissed Goldberg on Twitter for headbutting doors, and Goldberg came back with the standard, Roman, you are a joke. Okay, let's move on to AEW Impact. Matt, take the first bullet point there.
Dynamite beat Monday Night Raw in the key demographic ratings for the first time.
And what are those key demographics?
Like 18 to 49.
That's
Males.
a wide
That's
demographic.
a wide demographic.
It is, but
If you're male and you are breathing, you are counted.
Yes, exactly.
pretty
Demographic
much.
numbers.
And they mailed those in.
Intercepted by... Well, never mind.
Yeah. There's some hanging
Next
chads in there,
topic.
too.
Please, next topic. Jason, take the next one if you would.
Brandy from AEW started a group for women fans called AEW Heels, which would cost fans to sign up $50 a month. After a lot of bullying and ridicule online caused Brandy to deactivate Twitter.
Okay, what was the purpose of her starting this?
Yeah.
I missed that entire... I know she deactivated
She
her
started
Twitter.
some kind of like group. I think it was like a Facebook group called AEW Heels.
Right.
Basically, it's for like women to be like fans instead of like whenever they talk about like stuff on Twitter, something they get hit on or made fun of. Or
Okay.
And
something.
$50 a month, though?
I have no idea how that's a thing, but I guess from what Cody said in an interview, she turned on Twitter and saw so many N-words and everything else they were calling her. She just deactivated the whole thing.
Well, I can understand that part,
Yeah,
but
that's
I just
not
don't
right,
understand
but-
what the value of this... Now, you want to have a group on Facebook for AEW Heels and fans to talk and communicate, but
They should be happy to have
fans.
fans.
But why
Yeah.
a membership? Anyway,
Yeah.
next topic.
I could say something about memberships, but I won't.
Yeah,
I'll continue on because he's out of breath right now. Kurt Hawkins made his in-ring debut challenging Eddie Edwards for the Impact World Title, acting world champion.
I have one.
And nobody beat the former champion,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
she's still champion. I don't care what anybody says.
She'll be champion in your world all day long.
Duh.
And can I just add one word to that
Yes.
that line, that topic? So,
Yeah, exactly.
next topic. Did you guys see this clip of Matt Hardy getting the chair in the head?
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
Yeah, I saw it like right after we left the show last
Yeah,
week.
nasty. Now, do you buy that there was a different chair that he
There
was
was.
supposed to use?
Yeah.
Was it like a folding chair, a
Yeah,
little lighter
there
chair?
was two of the. It's a folding chair that got thrown at him, but it was a more
Sturdier one?
Sturdier,
It
versus
had like wood on it or something, didn't it?
the standard plastic or metal
Right.
folding chair was in between them, and when they went through the announce area, that chair got slid behind, so Sammy couldn't see it, so he grabbed the nearest chair he could see to continue on with the script, which happened to be one of the higher
Heavier.
value chairs, and threw it, and dude, you're a professional, figure it out. Matt took the leg of the chair right in the forehead. Yeah.
Like, even if you're going to throw a chair, why wouldn't you throw it like remember Sabu would do it like, you
At
would throw
him?
it so it's like straight at you?
Yeah.
Right.
He just grabbed the thing and chucked it like a frisbee and was
Yeah.
like, hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah, he was.
Rebby must have been pissed.
Oh, there you go. There's the picture.
Rebby was pissed, yeah.
See, now that's after he was cleaned up.
Oh, yeah.
And
Because there was a pool of blood on the...
right, and from that picture right there, you look at the cut. It doesn't look bad, and I'll put that word in quotes. But when you see the result of the blood, that the crimson mask, as they say, that had come down. What did he take? Like 12 stitches or 4 or 5? I don't know
Well,
what the number
any
was.
any
But,
cut to the forehead
I think it was like
in
13,
the ring,
14.
yeah,
it's gonna
ask
show.
Dusty
Yeah.
Rhodes, right, about the forehead
Absolutely.
stuff, right? Jeez
Well,
Louise.
last time we saw a big cut like that was John Cena went through the TV against JBL, and that he got cut on
Yeah.
the forehead.
Plus, he had a broken nose, courtesy of Seth Rollins mid-match. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So, all right, we already talked about Jericho doing that. So, next topic. Is Ring of Honor? Never mind. Ring of Honor
I'll
Indie
throw
Report.
something at you in a minute.
Well, no, it sounds like you're hesitating on the bell.
Well, it is a
It's
hesitation.
the bell stuttered.
That's exactly what it was.
So it wasn't me.
It's on tape delay.
Yes.
I'm trying to make it as close as TV
It's
as
time
possible.
now to turn this mush into muscles.
Shut up.
Kindergarten cop.
Great. Now we're
We-
doing
no.
Germans on the. Yeah, this is going to
No,
go
that was
way-
Australian. Come on.
Okay.
But you know what? When he does a clip like that, we ought to have a contest. First person that names the movie that the line comes from, we give him something. Any reason for the fans to call 702
Hey, did you mention our giveaways that we were going to do?
Yeah, that's why we were supposed to do giveaways. One on the website, one tonight, remember?
I may or may not have remembered to bring that tonight. So
Okay.
it'll be on the
Send
website.
your complaints to.
That's right.
They don't even know what it is. There ain't nothing to complain about. Check our website at 9 o'clock.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot top that anymore. The man who creates the website doesn't even know his web address. Holy
No,
cow.
I know the web address. I was checking the time to be like, how long it'll take me to get
Oh,
home.
I got you.
To put it on there.
Okay.
TwinBrothers.Vegas is about to get deleted.
I would expect a refund then.
You already cut one half of them out in all the
exactly.
pictures I saw.
No returns.
He's not happy with me, by the way.
says you can kiss his ass.
Ring of Honor to resume TV. Yeah, I know. Ring of Honor to resume TV tapings for the first time since March, and according to reports, will be unlike anything else fans have seen in pro wrestling.
Good matches from Ring of Honor?
Well,
They haven't had good matches since Matt and Jeff and the Young Bucks were there.
well, didn't AEW say the same thing, that you're going to see things you've never seen in wrestling before?
Hasn't happened
done?
yet.
Right, exactly. What have they done
They
differently?
said they were going to have
They
like
had a
some
drone.
sports.
The first ever drone.
A drone.
A drone wrestler.
Yeah, that's right. And didn't
That
Jericho
was an
take it
Impact
out?
first, too.
There you go. But didn't Jericho take that out with a bat or something in the ring?
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. I
He
don't
paid
get
for it later.
All right, let's talk about Jeff Cobb.
Jeff
man
Cobb
that we
teases
know
a major
well.
promotion announcing his signing. Where do you think he's going to sign?
Gee. 80 Tigers?
I would imagine AEW, but I'm hoping for WWE because he's super talented. And
Did he give any indication when he was here for your signing a couple of weeks ago?
He told me, just like Vicky told me when I talked to her, she said, there's a signing coming up, and with her wearing all the AEW stuff, it was a surprise. Heavens! Wow. Okay, that's sarcasm if you haven't figured it out.
Exactly. Especially that night when I saw her in the crowd the
Yeah.
first time at the AEW show.
Jeff is a huge talent. He's very popular over in New Japan. Spends a lot of time over there, and New Japan has a relationship with another organization, so I think it could flow very well.
There you go.
Wish him the best.
You heard it here first, or second, or third. I'm not really sure. Any other wrestling topic that you gentlemen would like to carry before we go into pop culture?
I like how you mentioned Goldberg is dissing on somebody. Goldberg needs
Roman
to
Reigns.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
could care less who he disses on, and just Goldberg has no room to talk.
Unless, well,
I mean, he's the Nia Jax. I mean, ask Bret Hart how he feels about Goldberg. I'm sorry.
all right. Why
You
is
know, when you're-
Jason's camera fuzzy again?
Yeah.
Because I am just so loud.
The ghosts have captured his camera again. Oh, there you go.
What? Washy.
Washy, 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 washy.
wax on?
Wax off.
Oh my
but,
goodness.
Goldberg and Nia need to learn how to take care of people in the ring. That's your job as a wrestler, is to take care of your opponent and shut the blank up.
Shut up.
Okay.
I know he's in the Hall of Fame, but that was just why.
So is Pete Rose. Explain some things.
So
It's the
is
only Hall of Fame he'll be in.
so is our current president. Isn't he also a member of the
Yes.
WWE Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
WD?
WD 40.
WD-40 Hall of Fame? Squeaky Will gets some grease.
You're despicable.
702-329-6947.
How do we get that computer away from him?
I know, but that was for me because I brought the president.
Was that
up.
Biden?
This- oh my God.
Oh, what a grouch!
Excellent, Smithers.
702.
We'll start our own soundboard.
Welcome to NPR Radio.
Yes.
702-329-6947. All right, let's move on to pop culture.
COVID's finally affected me.
Yes, it did.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr.
Both of
Pepper
us.
shortage.
That's it. I'm out. Why? No. Why would Dr. Pepper, of all the colas, drinks, why are they having a problem? I missed this
so
article.
yummy.
So
Because it's a doctor. The doctor actually left to help with the pandemic, so doctor's not there.
there you go.
That
And he's-
explains so much.
And he's right next to Dr. Seuss in the Carolinas.
Yes,
isn't he?
exactly.
Yes, and Dr. Spock and everybody else. No, seriously, why are they saying there's a shortage in Dr. Pepper? Are people buying that more than any other cola now?
Could be that or their factories being down. I don't know.
Wow. Okay. Speaking of shortages, Scott, why don't you take this one? I know how you loved this story when I shared it with you.
There's a Clorox wipe shortage and a Lysol wipe shortage. You know you can make your own, don't you?
Insert joke right here, ladies and gentlemen. So they did actually in that article share what a formula is, but you know what it is.
Yeah, basically it's bleach, you know, like a third cup bleach to a gallon of water. And if you have the container, this is educational, so people listen.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, exactly. I got to go put my sweater and my shoes on. But yeah, exactly. You take the container, you put the paper towels in the container, you mix the water, you shake it up, and guess what? Voila!
You got
Clorox wipes.
There you go.
From what I've seen on the news, please don't drink it.
No, from what I've seen on the news, more people need to drink it.
Well, that's true too. There is
Just
that
not
to be
our
said.
fans.
Yeah.
That's right, not our fans. Very true. All right, next topic. All right, Jason, take the second bullet if you would. Well, not the true bullet, but the second item there.
He's been taking bullets for years.
Thank you. Thank you. Good segue.
Oh my goodness gracious! We have lost
NHL,
control.
the NHL playoffs have started. Knights win Game 1 versus Blackhawks.
Go Blackhawks. I'll move on with that. But
Why are you such a?
I do not like the current head coach. I
Okay.
think he's a schmuck. I do not like people that our current goaltender. Marc-Andre Fleury's great. The other one is a
Scott,
hypocrite.
You have a good reason for this. Why I understand why you say it.
Yeah,
so.
he's a hypocrite. Our owner is a hypocrite. I do not like people that go back on their words.
And yet you wanted to put him into the tournament for best owner?
You know, he did bring a team to to Las Vegas, gave Vegas a chance. But our owner last year said if any player kneeled,
They'd go back to the
go
IHL.
immediately be sent back to the minors. And now,
Well, our team's not ready yet in Henderson.
yeah,
That's the
exactly.
problem.
And so now he's like, "Oh, I made a mistake."
boy.
Stick to your words. Learn from your words.
Chief,
But I respect the cause, and I've said this on our other shows. Ryan Reeves gave for people who understand why I don't like Robin Lerner. First of all, he needs to get back on his meds. But realistically,
And two.
when Ryan and him kneeled,
yes.
I'm not all for the kneeling thing. I always thought, you know what, do it before or after the anthem. Give a kiss cam. The ownership can do that
Right.
and do it respectfully. And that way you have no political party or political,
Connection.
crossing the lines. But Ryan gave a nice statement. And Ryan's been a good friend of the shop, Power Play Sports Collectibles with Boulevard Mall. But Ryan's statement started off very nicely.
Yep.
And then he put in there,
Don't quote it if you don't want to.
I will.
Okay.
He said,
Wait. The views and opinions expressed at this moment are those of the not necessarily
Yeah.
the station
But
or any other host.
But basically, he said white people need to change. And
That is a quote.
The
That is a quote.
Knights took it down. NHL.com took it down. But once you put it on social media,
It's
guess
there.
what? It's there. I found it again, so I could share it with you because you were curious about it. And the key thing is white people need to change. How about all people need to
people.
change and all people need to learn? Wait,
Pipe bomb.
drop the mic. Seriously.
I wonder though how that's different because when the situation with George Young started, and the Black Lives Matter, and then it was the Blue Lives Matter, and all of that. And I was one that said, look, at this point, all lives matter, don't they? And people who have been writing that on social media were being blasted.
Yes.
That we don't understand what the movement is all about.
And I defend you through thick and thin on this. You are Jewish.
Yes, I am.
And the Jewish community has been going through hard times and very disrespected and read history.
Over 5,000 years.
Thousands of
Yep.
years. Guess who? I bet it's Chief.
Yep. As soon as we get the caller picked up there. Chief, you're on the air in the closing minutes, sir. How are you?
Good evening, everyone.
Don't you hate caller ID? You can't surprise us now.
That's okay. You smartass. Never mind, I didn't say that.
What's up?
One comment. We all bleed red.
Yes.
I said it Saturday. I'll say it again. Lerner needs to go elsewhere.
Yeah,
So-
he and if you notice, Ryan did not kneel the next game. I respect Ryan, but his comment, being Robin Lerner, you could in the press conferences, he doesn't even look like he's happy to be here. So you know what? Go away.
Sayonara.
We have a whole Hall of Fame goaltender that, to me, will take us to the cup.
Absolutely.
Totally agree. Guys, have a good night. I'll see you all this weekend.
Yeah, Chief, you mentioned in the chat room you wanted information. That'll be coming up in a minute or two before we sign off, okay?
Thank you.
He must have been
Guys,
asleep.
be safe. Be safe. Love you all. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, Chief. You
See
too,
you this
buddy.
weekend.
Chief must have been asleep the first time we talked about it because he asked in the chat room. Shared the
Information.
events.
We'll finish that up.
Yeah, we'll do
I
that
like
last on the way
Cinemark.
out. Yeah, we're actually we talked about that on Time to Vegas this week, actually. So, Jason, why don't you talk about the last bullet?
5 Cinemark theaters to reopen on Friday. Tickets will be $5 for adults, $3 for kids, or you and 20 friends can rent a whole movie theater for $100. They will be playing classic movies.
Well, be you and 19 others would get
Yeah.
to the 20. But the funny thing
I
is,
think it's cool.
yeah, this was right in line with something we talked about on your show a number of weeks ago.
Yeah, where Regal is thinking about doing the
Regal
same thing.
Galaxy Theaters was talking about this. So there's 5. It's like the Suncoast, Orleans,
South Point,
South
Samstown,
Point. I want to say, is it Red Rock also? Is that one of them?
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe. So wherever the Cinemarks are, and they're playing classics. They're classic movies. So for $5, you go in. $3 for kids. I think it's a great idea.
It's a great idea to let
Separated
people go.
seating
Yeah.
will be interesting, but hey, at least it's getting people to do something else, and will help prevent Cinemark movie theaters from going out of business because of no revenue,
Right.
and putting some people back to work.
From what
Absolutely.
I heard, they're
Small
gonna,
businesses rule.
That's
Isn't the movie theater, Scott, at the Boulevard?
It's a Regal.
It's a Regal?
Yeah, but they've been talking. I've been talking to Katie, the manager over there, for a number of weeks, and they're trying to do the same thing.
Okay.
It just and people got to understand, it might not be Regal, might not be Cinemark or whoever, but they got to make deals with whatever movie they're showing.
Right.
So obviously Cinemark beat them to the punch, but hey, at least people are being able to get out there and do something.
absolutely. And once Boulevard Mall, or I'm sorry, Galaxy Theater does that, then we'll be able to advertise it for them, right?
Absolutely. So for Chief's sake,
Yes, here we go.
Boulevard Mall this
Chief,
Friday.
pay attention.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Love you, Chief. 11 to 7 is the Boulevard hours. We will be open at Power Play Sports Collectibles. But we'll be having our sports card, toys, and collectible show. People will be having sports trading cards, Funko Pops, toys, Marvel comics, DC comics, a whole little area right in front of the store there. It'll be fun for the whole family. You've got other things going on there. You got Poor Boy, you got Heads Up, you got Sequest, everything going on at the Boulevard. And Marty the Moth will be signing autographs on Saturday, 1 to 3. And on Friday night, you can get a wrestling seminar for only $20 at 6:30. You have to give a call over to Versus Wrestling, but Friday night, learn from one of the best Lucha Underground wrestlers. Oh, yes, he's pointing behind him. I thought he had a tail or something. But don't forget, in a few weeks from now, we've got Chris Bay of Las Vegas.
Yes, Vegas is
X-Division
over.
champion for Impact. And D'Lo Brown, former Intercontinental and European title holder from WWE. They both will be at Sunset Station September 5th and 6th. Labor Day weekend will be right in front of the bowling alley.
There you go. There you go.
I think you are a special person.
Hi, Stewie. I am special.
Oh,
I
my
love
Lord.
Stewie.
On that note,
Stewie for president.
Sometimes you just don't know when enough's enough, and I think we've had enough. Right
The
now.
Fiend's not here yet, so with
That's
that-
true. The Fiend is not here yet, which means we
Fiend-
have
So,
time.
so until the Fiend gets here, we're all going to do TikTok, right? Okay, never mind.
Dun, dun,
That's
dun,
right.
dun, dun.
Remember
Did you
Rose-
see Randy? There is
Yes,
a video.
yes, I saw it with his dad
Randy
and his
Orton,
daughter.
his daughter,
Yes.
and Cowboy Bob Orton.
Who did not have the cast on,
No,
by the way.
yeah, it healed miraculously.
That's right.
Look it up on YouTube. Randy Orton TikTok. Him showing his true character, not character, but
Dad.
true dad, with the daughter and grandpa there doing TikTok.
I like the one of like his stepkid jumping in the pool and he RKO's him.
Yeah.
I
in the pool.
love that one. Absolutely. I don't know why we're not hearing. I see the lights like French fries, but
That
until
was
we
the
hear
wrong-
the, do
that
we
was
have
the
the
wrong
Fiend?
noise.
I was going to say, don't we have the Fiend music somewhere? I thought we did, but all right. So anyway, lot of going on this weekend. Saturday, join us 8 a.m. Power Play Sports Collectors. Do we have a guest lined up yet?
No, you just got me.
Okay, we got
We'll
each
be
other.
talking the show, and I'll have
Yeah.
ideas of what the vendors have.
There you go.
So maybe I can get one of the vendors to come down. And you know what?
Perfect.
I'm talking to Marty. Maybe he can come down and
Oh, that would be great.
just have some fun with us.
Absolutely. 8 to 9 for that. Our House, Our Voice will be replaying last week's show with Scott and I. We had Alan Snell on talking about the national anthem stuff. And then, of course, at 12 o'clock, Twin brothers from different mothers will be on the air from 12 to 1 before I head down to the mall and put on my commentary and announcing headset for Versus.
All right.
Final thoughts, Mr. Matt.
Everybody be safe out there. Stay cool, hot.
Jason, final thoughts.
See everybody on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Boulevard Mall for our Cards and Sports show for Power Play Sports.
Scott.
Enough said. Have a happy week.
Have a great week, everybody. As always, I'd like to say be kind to each other. Why is that? We're all we got. See you next week right here. Thoughts count anywhere. For all your sports collectibles in Las Vegas, stop by Power Play Sports Collectibles in the Boulevard Mall. Power Play has a large selection of items from all your favorite teams, specializing in the Vegas Golden Knights, Las Vegas Raiders, and pro wrestling. Power Play Sports Collectibles has an online store if you prefer the online shopping experience, plus they ship worldwide. So if you're looking for that sports collectible for yourself or that special someone, check out Power Play Sports Collectibles online at www.powerplaysportscards.com or at the Boulevard Mall.